Aloha and welcome to the Xeno Podcast, where we talk about how we shape stories and how they shape us. My name is Carly.
And I'm Cole. We're in a very unique situation here at BYU Hawaii. We're on this tiny island in the middle of nowhere, but we have one of the most diverse campuses in the United States. Here there are over 70 countries represented with a school of only 3,000 students.
Yeah, it's a lot of countries. There's a lot of different languages just floating around as you walk through campus. But one of the coolest things we like to hear about is those different countries and their cultures. So we thought it'd be fun to highlight different countries each week. And this week, we've invited a few students from Korea. So I want you guys to introduce yourself and say hi in Korean.
Me first. 안녕하세요. This is Korean way to greet. My name is Kwangok An from Korea. I've been here for almost 3 years.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I'm majoring in computer science.
Hey guys, my name is Do Kyung-ha. I go by Do because it's easy. People always give up when they start talking about. So my name is Do Kyung. So they say, okay, I got the Do, but what's the next? So they just skip the second one, but just say Do. And I've also studied here for 2 years, and I'm graduating this semester, and I'm majoring in English, like Carly and Cole.
Yes. And Do is usually behind the recording equipment. She's a technician, our
Yes.
audio technician. So she's awesome, and she's recording this week.
It feels a little bit weird.
And then my name is Jordan. I'm not from Korea, but I served in the Korea Seoul South mission. And I love Korea with all my heart.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, we're excited to have you guys, and we're just going to pick your brains a little bit and ask you questions.
Yeah. So maybe to start, for anyone who doesn't know, where is Korea?
It's under North Korea. So it's attached to the Chinese continent. So it's like far south side. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, and is it just one island? Are there multiple islands within Korea?
There are a lot of islands.
There are a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but one of the famous islands would be Jeju Island, and also there's another island called Dokdo Island, which is the Japan and Korea is fighting against the ownership.
Oh, wow.
So-
Oh, and that's going on right now?
Still.
Oh, I see.
Wow. After how long?
For after the war, Second War.
I was gonna say
Oh,
it's been
wow.
a long time.
Yeah,
Wow.
because I don't know, Japan wants to take everything.
That's so cool. I don't know. Is that close to the mainland, or is it kind of out in the ocean?
It's close to the other island that
Oh, okay.
belongs to Korea,
Mhm.
but it's kind of far from Korea.
Oh, okay.
It's also far from Japan, but
Mhm.
still they're fighting. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it a really significant piece of land, or?
Maybe.
Yeah,
The territory of the sea is
Yeah.
shrink if they took it.
Oh,
Yeah.
and
I see.
I also heard that in on the bottom parts of that island, they have a lot of just resources
Oh,
and
I see.
instinct, fishes and stuff. So I
Mhm.
guess that's why.
They just want it. Well, cool. So how would you describe Korea? Hawaii's really tropical, or I'm from Arizona, it's super dry. How would you describe it to somebody who's never even seen a picture of Korea?
Whoa.
We have 4 seasons, so
Mhm.
summer, fall, winter, and spring.
Okay.
And yeah, we have 4 weathers. there.
Okay.
But it's been really dramatic these days. So we have
Mhm.
longer winter and summer. We have just few months of spring and fall, which is greatest season.
Yeah.
You know, flowers and all the fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
But on summertime, it's really humid.
And
On
really
winter, it's really dry.
Yeah.
So you get to experience everything. Yeah.
All right. Do you get snow there as well
Yeah.
in the
a
winter
lot.
time?
Wow, I didn't know that.
Me
Yeah,
neither.
I feel like for Korea, they do, yeah. So they have all the 4 seasons, but every season is to the extreme. Humid. For me, anyways, it was way more humid than Hawaii.
Oh, really?
And snow, it was super cold. Spring, I mean, the colors are beautiful. It's as spring as you can imagine. And then fall as well. Fall had all the You know,
Yeah,
all the
just-
orangey browns and whatnot.
Pumpkin spice flavoring
exactly.
colors.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So is there a lot of like big cities? Like I know Seoul's a big city. And then like are there lots of countrysides or is it mostly cities?
I only ever went to like the city. There was some countryside that I went to, but I don't know.
You served
Right.
in Seoul, so that's why. I think.
Yeah, I mostly served in like the city area.
There's a few major cities in Korea, like Busan, which
Mhm.
is like harbor city. And what else?
Well, yeah, I think it's pretty diverse. We also have like big cities and like really, really countrysides too. The place where my grandmother lives is really, really countryside.
Yeah.
There's only older people live there. And I like to go there because it's really quiet
Right.
and they don't even have any lights at night, so it's
Really?
really pitch black.
Holy cow.
And sometimes the Wi-Fi doesn't work because my grandma doesn't
Sounds
use
like my grandma's
Wi-Fi,
neighborhood.
so
Doesn't
I
need
don't get to
Wi-Fi.
have a Wi-Fi. So it's really dramatic.
That is so fun.
But it's not like super ghetto. It's just a countryside. They have
Yeah.
everything. They have cars and everything. They just don't use it. So that's
Yeah.
why it's countryside.
That's so cool.
So in the countryside, do they have to travel far to get like what they need at the store, or do they have everything there as well?
Yeah, I remember when I visited my grandma's house to go to Mart, like Home Plus. It's called Home Plus, but it's like similar to Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to
Okay.
go there, you need to drive like an hour.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
Like in Hawaii.
Yeah.
you
You
know,
wanna go to
like,
Costco?
Yeah, the
Good
same
point.
thing.
hmm
That's
Yeah, you need
That's
to
really-
wait bus for an hour. It's the
Oh,
same
yeah.
thing.
Yeah, so do they have like a lot of buses and subways, kind of like Japan, or like I've heard that they like do a lot of public transportation and not a lot of people have cars. So is it kind of like that, or?
They have so much. The public transportation there is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of subways and buses. Like people do drive, but I feel like it's more common just to do public transportation because it's so easy and fast.
If you have a car and you live in the city, like in Seoul, the traffic jam is like a New York city.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people usually use just the public transportations.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so if you use public transportation all your life and live in the city, do you usually, when you grow up, do you get a driver's license, or that just there's no need?
When you turn to 18. right?
Yeah, I think 18 or 19.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, after you graduate high school.
Then you get a driver's license after that. Okay.
Cool.
Before that, we never put on my foot on the pedal.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I never had any experience of driving because well, I live in Seoul, so I don't need cars because like all the buses and subways
Mm-hmm.
really good.
Yeah.
So I never really drive, but like once I got here in Laie, it feels like even though I want to go to Costco or like town, I can't really go there because I don't have any car and I don't know how to drive. But buses, we have bus, but it's boring and like you need to like ride like for 2 hours. So
Yeah.
like I just like got a permit, so now I need to get a
Sweet.
driver license.
That's sweet.
But it's
There you go, working
horrifying.
on it.
That's so different because I feel like Americans like wait till the day they turn like 15 and a half. They're like, I'm getting my
Oh, yeah.
permit.
As
Like,
soon as possible. you're
Yeah,
like,
so that's
Yeah, or I
interesting.
seen like looks like 7-year-old kid is driving and
Oh,
just like
so
parking.
young.
I was like, how can this possible? You know?
Yeah, and like my dad's from Idaho. He's been driving like motorcycles since he was like, I don't know, probably 10 or
Whoa.
11. So it's like he's a really good driver. But anyway, so that's like a difference. So like what are other differences that you notice, like maybe Jordan going from America to Korea and then you guys from Korea to America? Like what are some culture shocking things?
Culture shocking things. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of differences. There's a lot of different like mannerisms and customs that I had to get used to. Like for example, like taking your shoes off when you walk inside a house or an apartment, or even when you hand things to people, there was like a specific way to do
really?
it. Like, well, at least in the MTC they taught me I was supposed to like at least put like one arm on my other arm
Oh, really?
and not to use my
Like-
left hand to give things
like-
to people. Oh, like that.
Oh, interesting.
Because, yeah, it's the more polite way, or the really polite way is to use both hands.
Oh,
Like
okay.
when you give something
Okay.
to someone. But yeah, definitely they told me don't use your left hand. But
Wow.
I don't know if that's still like really a big thing, but that's what they told me in the MTC.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. We use right hands most of the time.
Most of the time. Yeah, we were just doing a podcast with Marsha from the Reading Writing Center on Indonesia, and they said the same thing. Like, you always hand with your right. Or, like, write with your right hand. That's interesting.
I think it's because of religion in Asia. So like for example in European and America, the Christianity is like a major religion, but in Asia like Buddhism or Confucianism, all those kind of religions that or beliefs are around all over the Asia. So maybe that's why it creates that respect and respect to elderly people kind of
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is that one of the big motives for doing things is just out of respect a lot of the times?
Yeah, like I guess like come to think of it in the notions of respect. I remember when I just got here, it feels like I need to bow to everyone, especially to professors.
Oh,
Like,
I
see.
hello, professor. You know, they kind of like,
Yeah.
I'm pleased to make your acquaintance, like,
Yeah.
and bowing. But like we usually say, hey, what's up, professor? Or hello, how are you? And feels like, can we do that? You know. We also like make some jokes on professors, which is a really like culture shocking to me, but I loved it.
Yeah, like more casual here, and yeah. So would you say it's like pretty formal? Like everyone's pretty formal to each other? Is that different from like? Do you feel like they're formal and nice, like open, or is it more of a closed-in culture? Like here in Hawaii, people have commented like people are so friendly here. Do you think like it's like that in Korea?
I think we're close because sometimes, I mean, I don't even know my next door neighbor's
Oh, really?
name or face, so
Really?
it's kind of
Interesting.
closed. That's why I think we respect others because, I mean, I don't know them, so
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess it's the pros and cons of it. And also like to get to know someone, we just like start saying
Yeah.
something like just say anything like it, or like they say, "Oh, I like your shoes." Like, "Oh, she's like complimenting my shoes like even though we don't know each other," that kind of thing. But
Yeah.
it's like it's because of I guess like friendly culture, but in Korea it's too formal. So like we don't really talk until we get to know each other. And also like interesting thing about the formal things, like in Korea the age is really important. So for example, like if we introduce ourselves, we say, "Hey, my name is Do, I'm from some blah 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 and like my major," but we need to mention about our ages so that we can decide which language should we speak. So we have
Oh.
formal
See.
language and informal language.
Oh, wow.
So if the person is even 1 year older than me, I need to speak formal language until that older person said, "You can just speak informal language to me." Then I can speak informal language.
yeah, she still talks former language to me.
Well, you didn't say that. You can use it.
He likes the power. It's the formal language.
Oh my gosh.
That's
It is.
hilarious.
Are there so like? Is it just like formal and informal, or are there like different levels of formal? Like with really old people, is it like the highest level, or is it just the same as
Just
someone 1 year older than you?
There's a really, really formal language that is
Like
when
missionary
like
language.
maybe that is,
Missionary
but
language.
like there was I mean, in Korea we had a king, so language for king,
Right.
that is the
Oh,
most
okay.
Highest.
extreme.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Jordan, were you encouraged to learn formal or informal language, or both?
So in the MTC, they start you off learning formal. So, because as a missionary, it's always better to be safe than sorry, you know?
Yeah.
So you just want to talk to everyone, like, with respect. And because you're, like, a servant of the Lord, you want to, like, talk higher as well. But also, they told us that it was easier to learn the language if you started out high, like the higher form, and then slowly learn the lower forms. Well, it's supposed to make it easier for us, and it
Yeah.
sounded fancier. So,
Right, yeah,
so
that's
they
smart.
start us off with the higher form.
It's kind of like people here when they like don't use slang at all.
True,
and then
yeah.
like they come in for a tutorial and you're like, oh, that's slang. Like, don't worry about it. Like, what's up? They're like, like contractions. They don't use a lot of contractions. They say, what is up? Or,
That's true.
yeah.
Yeah. Would it be the same with writing then? Do you usually write formally or informally?
Depends on the situation. I think like if you're texting to your friends, then you can use informal language. But if you are writing to write a letter or writing an essay or some kind of like that, then you have to use formal.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So that's kind of similar with here. At first I was like, oh, this is a different concept, but it's kind of similar. Like depending on who we're talking to, we'll kind of change our language to, I don't know, like match who they are. Or even if we're at church sometimes, like change the language to like church,
That's true.
church words kind of.
And since we're from like the Reading Writing Center, we're really curious about like going from Korean to English or English to Korean. What kind of different like grammar principles or like how that language is different? Like I think we were just talking about Mandarin Chinese and how their articles are super different. You know, is there anything like that you'd be like, oh, we don't use articles or?
I think grammar is kind of different.
Okay.
I mean, since she though is majoring in English, I mean, I think she can explain well.
There we go.
Yeah, I just found out that their like major difference is gonna be English starts with subject, verb, object.
Okay.
I eat breakfast. But in Korea, it's gonna be I breakfast to eat.
Oh, okay.
So subject, object, verb. It's a main thing. And especially in Korea, because like Korea is small and it's like we don't really have a lot of diversities like internationally. So we sometimes delete subject.
Oh, okay.
We assume that we know everything.
Oh, okay.
So sometimes like we don't really use she, he, it, I, that kind of thing. If you want to say like I'm hungry, I just say hungry.
Yeah.
Then everyone understands.
Yeah, like
Yeah. That kind of stuff, I guess. Yeah, and also we don't use articles. That's
Yeah.
why every time, like, I'm go to you guys and I'm saying,
They're so
article,
trickle.
please. You know?
Yeah. What about you, Jordan? Like,
Um,
was it hard?
I had
learn?
the hardest time learning Korean. It's definitely the opposite of English for me. For me, Korean is like math, and I'm not the best at math. Why I'm also an English major. But if you're familiar with like the FOIL method, for me when I do Korean, it feels like when I speak Korean, it feels like I'm doing the FOIL method in my head, kind of. Like I feel like I have this like puzzle that's like jumbled, and I'm trying to speak it. Like I don't know. For me, Korean is doing math, but I do like it.
Yeah.
But it's definitely way different than English,
Yeah.
in my opinion, at least. But
Yeah, it kind of makes sense.
And when you were over there, like first learning and trying to talk to people, how did they accept you?
Koreans are like the nicest people ever, and even if you just say hello to them in Korean, they're like so happy about it and so honored that you're taking, because Korean is such a hard language, they're so honored that you're like you're like making effort, you know,
Right.
to like learn their language, and like they respect you for it, and so they're really kind
Oh,
about
cool.
it.
And then like to say hello, it's 안녕하세요.
Yeah.
Is that how you say
That's
it?
correct.
Okay, cool. And that's the formal. And then if you're just
Yeah.
informal, it's 안녕.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, very nice.
Wow, I know. I've been friends with Doe for a
Wow.
while. I'm always picking her brain about it. Well, cool. What kind of foods are there? Like, what's a traditional Korean dish? And this is the part where I get super hungry and just want to go to Korea for
Go
lunch.
cook food after this.
I know.
Seriously, every time I think about food, I really want to go home. I know. Just food.
For the traditional meal, I think for Korea, Korea has been established for like 20,000 years. I don't know, but it's kind of long time. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of traditional food. So I cannot pick one.
Come to think of it, we eat rice as a meal. Like, everyone knows about kimchi.
Yeah.
And we
What-
also eat a
what's
lot of
kimchi?
side dishes with vegetables.
Okay.
And we also eat a lot of meat.
What's kimchi for anybody that doesn't know? Because I've seen it. I've never had it.
Deliciousness.
I've never had it either.
I'm not a spicy person. I know there's spicy kimchi, so I stay away from it. But what's in it? Is it like vegetables or meat?
It's usually made of the radish and
Oh, okay.
Cabbages?
cabbages.
Oh.
And we put some salt and what do you call, like pepper
Oh, okay.
powder.
So basically, with the radish or cabbages, we soak in salt and make it super
Salty, pickled.
pickled. Like
Okay.
so, we make it as a pickle, and then we put all the seasonings and inside of it. It's like you can put everything actually. I saw my grandmother's making kimchi, and she put pears,
Oh, wow.
apples, like carrots, onions.
Wow.
What else? Like gingers. Also, they
Fishes.
eat like super small fishes for put some like just a lot.
Just everything.
Yeah,
That's
and, like,
awesome.
There's like 100 kinds of kimchis.
White kimchi.
Yeah.
Not spicy?
Yeah,
Oh.
definitely what I'd have to have. I'm not spicy, but yeah.
So anyone traveling to Korea that didn't want spicy would have to go for the white kimchi.
We called it pek kimchi.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Sweet.
If anyone who hasn't tried like Asian, maybe Korean spiciness, just I recommend to start with super low
Super,
part
super mild.
because it's not like Mexican spiciness.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I remember when I first tasted hot sauce, it just like starts filling with your feeling right after you have it and then through your nose a little bit.
Yeah.
But Korean, if you taste it, you feel like, it's fine. It's not a
Oh.
big deal. And then when it starts, you have like, whoa.
Then it
Yeah.
hits you.
True.
Oh
Yeah,
my
it hits you
God.
later, so it's
Oh,
gotta be
yeah.
careful.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So Jordan, like, you probably have had like a lot of different Korean dishes, I'm guessing, like visiting people's houses and stuff. What's like
Yes.
your favorite or your least favorite? Or
My favorite is called budae-jjigae. It's like a wartime stew. It
Oh.
was like when they had rations, right? They would just put it all into like this stew. It's like spicy, and it has like noodles, hot dogs, spam, onions, rice cake, all kinds of stuff.
So just everything.
So good.
All
Yeah,
kinds
it's like
of
everything
unhealthy
stew.
food.
It's so good.
It's so
Sounds
good.
good.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. I really liked all Korean food, even the stuff like that was not things that I weren't like used to eating. I still enjoyed it just for like the experience.
yeah.
But yeah, all Korean food is amazing, especially their fried chicken. Oh my gosh, their fried chicken is so good.
Is it
Goodness.
made the same as
So
here, or is it just it's different?
It's like it looks like KFC fried chickens, but somehow it's different.
Like
Better.
soy garlic. Oh, it's so
Soy garlic.
good. Oh my goodness.
Awesome. So I have to ask, last week we talked about how McDonald's is in Indonesia. Is McDonald's in Korea as well?
Yeah, we do have.
And what do people think of it over there?
Oh,
They
it's,
love it.
it's not for rich people.
Mm-hmm.
You can just
That's
have
really
it.
good.
It's like same thing in here, but you can also get to have Korean special
Menus,
burgers.
yeah.
Like it's called
Oh,
bulgogi burger. It's one of my
Ooh.
favorite. So the patty they marinate it with bulgogi sauce.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really good, chewy.
I've seen those before, and they look so good.
Yeah.
They also have a chicken burger which called Shanghai spicy
Oh
chicken.
yeah.
Oh.
That is
my.
my favorite.
That's
I
cool.
mean,
So they've
they-
kind
in here they don't sell that, so
Yeah.
I'm
They only
kinda
have like
sad.
buttermilk chicken.
Yeah.
thingy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Korean McDonald's is so good. And they have shrimp burgers.
Oh, shrimp
Whoa,
burgers.
And they always have like these limited edition like dipped cones. Like here we only have like the chocolate dipped.
Yeah.
But I've had birthday dipped. I've had a blossom cone, which is like this bubblegum dipped cone.
McDonald's holding
Korean
out on us over
McDonald's.
here.
Way
What's
better.
going on?
They're not
Way
tailoring
better.
it to our taste buds over here.
Yeah. I guess here we just have like, you have the meals where you can get like spam or Portuguese
Yeah,
sausage
yeah.
and rice or something.
That's true.
Yeah, which we don't have on the mainland. Very cool.
Yeah. So, do your families eat out a lot, or is it like mostly homemade?
For my family, Seoul or just all over the Korea, the delivery system is really good. So we just order anything from the stores and eat it at the home.
Even McDonald's delivers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Cool. What other things do you do? Just if you're just like hanging out
Yeah.
in Korea, what other kinds of things do you
Oh,
do?
we go to karaoke a lot.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah,
karaoke.
a lot.
Like a karaoke bar where
No, it's just like this room,
Uh-huh.
smaller room, but there's equipment that you can sing, mics or something like that, and it's about like $1 for 30 minutes. So
Not too
yeah,
bad.
it's not bad.
That's awesome.
For us, like, we go and eat a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So we eat meals. After that, we go to cafe like Starbucks, and then we get dessert.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go outside and do karaoke or like do some eye shopping, and then we go to another dessert place and like eat again and like stuff
Sounds
like
great.
that.
Sounds fun.
Yeah. And like for guys, also the technology is really developed in Korea. It's like for example computers and like so there's like a PC room. It's called PC room. So all the computers are there. Like a computer lab in library, and they get to
Right.
just play games like
Oh,
League of
fun.
Legends or all those kind of
okay.
stuff.
Those
yeah.
computers are so good.
Yeah.
Like-
Like really fast
High tech,
computers.
yeah.
The
Oh,
okay.
screens are super big.
Really?
And
They're
they
like
have their
TV
own like
screen
gamer
size.
keyboards, gamer for like mouse for gamers, and even like chair.
Cheers, yeah.
Whoa,
You
yeah.
can even
Okay.
order food while you play.
Yeah.
So advanced. We make it on
Yeah.
that level.
Mm-hmm.
It's fancy.
Seriously.
Yeah. So come to think of it, I guess like Korea really do care about like services.
Yeah.
Like something really fast
Mm-hmm.
and like convenient.
If it's like bad service, do you think like people won't go there?
Yeah.
Or like
Definitely not.
so that's like why everything's so efficient is like because if you're not, we won't go there.
Yeah, I feel like Korea is a very like fast-paced society just because it is so city. So then like and the transportation is so fast that when it comes to food, no one really wants to wait a long time, you know, because they're in a rush or like they're on the go. So that was one of the biggest difference actually that I noticed. Like here, you'll sit down and you have to wait like a half hour for your food, but as soon as you like go to a restaurant in Korea, it's literally like 5 minutes and then you have your meal right in front of you.
Wow.
Or they have buffets.
Or yeah,
buffets
my
too.
A
gosh.
lot of
Yeah.
buffets.
A lot of buffets. You
these
can
are so
like
good.
go there like from $10 to $20. If you want to go better ones, like you can like pay $30 to $50. But there's like all sorts of different kinds of buffets that you can pick. Like they have pizza buffets
Wow.
or like Korean Korean
Barbecue.
food buffets. Yeah, or barbecue buffet. You know, like in here we still have barbecue place that you can always like eat meat.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We also have a sushi buffet.
Yeah.
Sushi buffet. That sounds good.
Lots of
Yeah.
sushi in Korea, or just like
Yeah, it's
kind of
good.
like here, where it's like every once in a while.
We have a lot of sushis.
Yeah.
I feel like the sushi is like different though.
Yeah, true.
I think so. Yeah.
It's more
Much
like
smaller.
traditional
Mhm.
sushi, I feel like.
Less sweet, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, less sweet.
Oh, okay.
Just like
That's sweet.
Yeah.
But still like rice and like fish in the middle.
It looks pretty much the same, but
same.
like
Just the
a little
flavor.
bit different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's really cool. Is there any other like stories you want to share, or like just things that Americans should know about Korean culture, or
Ooh.
if we're gonna plan a trip there, like what etiquette to know, stuff like that that maybe we wouldn't know.
Koreans are so helpful.
Really?
Like if you, well, at least like if we ever got lost and we asked someone like how to find somewhere, they would like stop what they were doing and they would help us for like 20 minutes,
Oh, for
like
that,
guiding
I
us where to
think-
go.
I
But maybe it
think-
depends on the person.
I think
but
if
'Cause I'm a
you are not
foreigner.
good at English, then you don't know how to explain to get there. So they just stop what they're doing and bring you to there.
they're like
Just
so
gonna
kind to
take you there.
foreigners.
That's cool.
I hear it's like really family centered. Like everything in Korea is like really nice to go to with the family. Like it's
It was,
that?
but
Yeah.
right now it's that kind of environment is
Changing, I
disappearing.
guess.
it's changing. Interesting.
There are a lot of families though, especially because like people get married later there
Mhm.
at like, I don't know, like their 30s more so, right? I don't know,
Yeah.
I feel like I saw so many babies or like pregnant women all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I saw a lot of babies.
Oh,
I don't know. I feel like I saw a lot of families.
yeah.
But
And
probably
the other
different
thing
now.
about Korea is it's a war country. It's not ended. So if you saw a lot of, I mean, you will see a lot of the military people, and if you're planning to go somewhere that is kind of danger to go, which is near the military bases,
Mhm.
you have to be careful. Like
Yeah.
the security is kind of
Mhm.
danger.
Yeah, because you're right on the border of North Korea, right? And, so, yeah.
Is military service required for the men in Korea or anything like that?
Yeah, you have to go.
Mandatory?
Yeah.
Mhm.
How long?
For right now it's 21.
We just like approximately say 2 years, but it's
Mhm.
definitely less than 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
served 2 years.
2
I
years.
was in the
2
Air
years.
Force.
Wow.
Oh, cool.
That's cool.
Well, thanks for letting us interview you and ask you all our random Korean questions. How do you say goodbye in Korean?
안녕.
Annyeong. Same
Annyeong.
as
Yeah.
like hello.
Oh,
it's like
just
aloha.
like aloha, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, that's true.
Okay. Annyeong.
안녕.
Cool.
안녕.
Annyeong. Okay, well, thank you for joining us today and helping us learn a little bit more about Korea.
Thanks for tuning in. This was the Xeno Podcast. You can stay updated by following our Facebook and Instagram pages at Xeno Podcast.
This podcast was brought to you by BYU Hawaii's Reading and Writing Center.
You can also find us on YouTube or iTunes or by searching Xeno Podcast. That's XENO Podcast.
If you have any questions or comments, you can email us at byuh_rwc@byuh.edu.
Thanks for learning by listening.